Hey guys, welcome to BackpackerGuide.NZ New Zealand's biggest gap year wrap-up video. That's literally probably the last video about New Zealand's biggest gap year that we're going to be doing, which is quite crazy. We've done a lot, but it's quite insane to be around the end. Should we actually start with the intro? Should we like play it for the last time?
Yeah, okay. Let's do that.
Let's do that. Alright, so we're back. So by the way guys, can you actually let us know in the comment below which intro you preferred? If you remember, we actually did have two intros that we played throughout, because basically throughout the year I was kind of like getting a little bit bored of the first one, so I made another one. So tell us in the comment below if you prefer the first one or the second one. We'll link to the two intro videos below as well, like in the comments, so you can compare and tell us. That'd be cool.
I like the music of the second one more, I think. Yeah. I found it really punchy and cool. Yeah.
I kind of like the transition. I mean, I think the first one's a little bit slower, so you get to take in a little bit more. But
yeah, but then but if you're binge watching any of our videos, then the longer intro is kind of like, okay, I've seen this 1,000 times. So
yeah, alright, so in this video right here, we're not going to be doing too much talking, just because you guys know it by now. We like to make New Zealand kind of the main characters of all our videos, or the activity that we do at the main character of every single one of our videos, not really all about ourselves. But there was a lot of questions that were asked throughout the year, but you know, about us and everything and that, so we decided to answer basically the 5 main questions that we get. But before that, I just want to give you a few numbers about New Zealand's biggest gap year, just because since we just wrapped it up, I actually got to have a look back at it, and they're absolutely insane. So footage-wise, we actually did shoot a lot of videos. In fact, we shot 14 terabytes worth of footage. That's like GoPros, DSLR and drone, which is quite crazy.
What's terabytes and gigabytes? Because most people don't even work in terabytes, like you don't even get to that level.
So 1 terabyte is 1,000 gigabytes, so that is a lot. I think I'm right. I think it's 1,000.
I remember my iPod only held like 8 gigabytes back in the day, so
that's what you never bought a new iPod, right?
And that was the last music playing device I ever bought, so yeah.
So 14 terabytes, and this translated into 382 videos. So 382 because there was quite a few days when we did part 1, part 2, because we did a couple of extra activities throughout the day, which is quite crazy. So those 382 videos are actually 301 gigabytes worth of videos. That is a lot of movies. Like if you get one movie, usually it's about like 1 gigabyte, I guess.
Can you imagine, like, just imagine how many hard drives we were carrying around New Zealand for that whole year, storing up all these videos.
Yeah, we did have a lot of hard drives.
It's hard to backpack with all those hard drives.
Yeah, to be quite honest, we did leave them in the car all the time. We didn't have them in our backpacks. But yeah.
We did carry boxes into hostels sometimes, which we kind of looked a little bit weird.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, it's quite funny. There is a footage of us when we board the boat going to Stewart Island, and we have so many boxes and stuff, and we just look
It's
ridiculous.
like, what is happening here? Backpackers with their like plastic boxes walking around.
And that was the same thing when we actually did activities. It looks a little bit silly, because for like a hike that usually taking 2 hours, it usually took us 3.5 hours to sometimes 4 hours, because we kind of like place a GoPro on a tree and then walk in front of it, or you know, you do the footage 2 or 3 times to actually just get, you know, enough shots to make a story out of it. So sometimes it was quite insane.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the activity part. So we ended up with the counter at 375 activities, when on the last day you guys saw it. Spoiler alert, we got a tattoo. So on the last day, we actually had a count of 375 activities. Now that doesn't really mean we did 365 activities. We actually feel that we did a little bit more, but there was always some debates of like, is this short walk really an activity or this and that? So you have some days when you don't have an activities. You have a day when you have 2, sometimes 3 actually, some crazy days. So yeah, that's basically how we wrapped it up, how we counted it. It's really kind of we just decided what was an activity and what wasn't. To be quite honest, there's no really rules.
Yeah, and I think when we were traveling around, when you get to a location, you realize actually how much there is to do, and we only planned a certain amount of time in each location. So when you saw there was like, oh my god, there's actually like 10 things we can do here in 2 days, we still tried to do everything that we possibly could. Otherwise, it would be a shame to miss out. So,
yeah, that was really crazy. I mean, just thinking about it, when we planned New Zealand's biggest gap year, you know, people were like, oh, there's no way you can do that much and everything. And we started with a blank piece of paper with numbers from 1 to 365 and be like, okay, what activities do we want to do around New Zealand? It was just the most daunting task, but we ended up having to do so much. Anyway, this brings us to the questions that you guys have been asking the most. So I'm just going to go over that and we'll cover them a little bit. Alright, so the first question that we hear all the time is, did you really do an activity every single day for the entire year?
We certainly did. And as we just said, we did more. We did more than that, so yeah.
Yeah, so we actually did that. There is no cheating or anything like that. There was a couple of days where we didn't have an activity, so we actually still did some filler stuff, but yeah, no, there was no cheating right here. It was actually shot throughout the entire year. For the editing, I did fall a little bit behind, so the last videos were published after the end of the New Zealand's biggest gap year, but you know, it's just because editing does take a lot of time, and that's pretty much it. We actually did do that. It took us a lot of time and energy. Well, it took us a year, but you know, it took us about 6 months to plan it before as well, so it was quite a big adventure. And it took us a lot of, really optimization throughout every single day. Like, I mean, we woke up at 5 every day, even if our activities were in the evening, because we actually took the time to actually, do some write-ups and prepare, email people, lock things in, find the accommodation, do laundry, to make food,
yeah. Just
those kind of silly things that we still had to do. So it was a very long day. I don't think there is a single day that we didn't do at least 14 hours. That's a minimum.
Yeah, definitely. I think that is an accurate remembering.
Insightful, Laura, insightful. All right, so we move on to the next question. So a question that almost everybody asks, and it's literally the worst question to ask us, but it's fair game. So what was your favorite activity?
Everyone asks us that. Even throughout the whole year, everywhere that we went to, and we were telling people what we were doing, people were like, so what's your favorite activity in New Zealand? It's like, oh my god, how do you even choose? And
so how do you choose, Laura?
How do you choose? I was saying that so that you wouldn't ask me. Yeah. What was my favorite? Oh yeah, my favorite one. Yeah, okay. That was my personal favorite one was at Stewart Island. There's a little island just off the shore called Ulva Island, and it's kind of like a wildlife sanctuary, so it's pest-free, there's no predators on it to disturb the native birds, and once you step onto this island, it just feels like you're in a completely different world. It's like Jurassic Park without the dinosaurs. But it's just amazing amount of wildlife there, and I just remember that being like such an amazing place. So that's my favorite activity, which I don't think other people would agree with, but I love that shit.
It's not shit though. Alright, so mine, I love wildlife. Laura does love wildlife, and I love wildlife as well. And literally, the most surprising thing that we've done in New Zealand to me was when we went seal swimming in Kaikoura. I did not expect that. We jumped in the water, and basically we were the attraction. So the seals jump in the water as well. They got off their rock and start swimming around us. They're much more agile than us in the water, so they kind of play around, they kind of swim really fast by, and then they come back, and they know that you can't really follow them, so they don't feel endangered. So it's so cool, and they're really curious with us, so they were kind of dangling in the water upside down and kind of staring at me, and I just love that so much. And funnily enough, actually, when we did some scuba diving in Paul Knight Island, we ended up actually snorkeling with some seals as well. and I still remember that to be so amazing. And to be fair, I actually did another episode of New Zealand's Biggest Gap Year just with this little part, just because I loved it so much. And if I were to leave it on the part 1 of the episode and just make it just one part of episode, I would have had to cut it like a lot, because I always try to keep the episodes, you know, between 5 and 10 minutes and never longer. So I would not have been able to actually feed the whole experience. And I loved it so much, I was like, you know what? To hell with that, I'm gonna be doing 2-parters, so like that I can show those seals for another good 3 to 4 minutes, which, oh my god, I just love this.
And that's another example of something that wasn't technically an activity, because it was something extra we did on top of our main activity, which was scuba diving. So it just sort of goes to show, like, when you're doing these sort of travel experiences, so many awesome things can happen along the way, and that was definitely one of them. That was amazing.
Yeah, but if you guys want to guarantee to do that, you head to Seal Swim Kaikoura. You know, they have tours going every day, so you guarantee you do that, because it's not often that you will find it, you know, everywhere. All right, moving on to the next questions. What camera did you use? So there was a lot of people that ask us, what kind of camera do you use?
And how can we avoid it?
yeah, and the thing is, like, cameras change every single time. Like, you know, even just within the year we were on the road, you know, GoPro came up with like two different iterations of the cameras, and it's just completely nonsense.
So hard to keep up with GoPro.
Yeah. So basically, what we usually like look is like what actually we're gonna be using it for, and you know, what can we get away with. So GoPro wise, we actually stick with the GoPro Hero 4 because we publish videos on YouTube and it's 1080p. So GoPro Hero 4s, we had 2 and at some point 3. Got some hit and miss with the GoPros, but we won't go over that. But we went with two, sometimes 3 GoPros. The reason why we had multiple is just because it was a little bit easier logistically. And the Hero 4, when we were purchasing them, you know, we bought them used, and so they were dead as cheap. So, you know, for the price of 1 new GoPro at the time, we got like 3, so that was quite good. And we went for GoPros, not because we like the brand or anything like that, to be quite honest, just because it was compatible with kind of everything. I don't know if I would really recommend going with GoPros, but you know, that was really useful for what we did.
Yeah. And you'll also find that a lot of the activity providers like whitewater rafting, anything with helmets that are in the tour, they usually have the little GoPro attachments on there. So, you know, we could just jump on a tour and they had all the stuff basically ready on the helmet. So if you are traveling around with an action camera, then usually they do have those little attachments on the helmets, or if they don't, you just ask to use the one that does. So, yeah.
True. DSLR wise, so we had the DSLR camera obviously to take all our still pictures, to record all those kind of video like testimonials that we called it.
And also for shooting wildlife as well. Obviously stuff that's quite far away, you definitely need a DSLR like with a telephoto lens.
So what was yours?
So the one that I used for the trip was a D3300 Nikon, but we have upgraded since we finished the trip.
Yeah,
but
we've done a lot since we finished.
Yeah, and also our cameras were very much battered by the end, so it's definitely time for an upgrade. But yeah, that one, the really cool thing about that camera is that it's actually quite an affordable DSLR camera as well, because there's a lot of DSLR cameras that are like over like I don't know, like 3,000 New Zealand dollars, which is like, when you're actually out traveling around, you don't want to end up breaking your camera and losing all that money. So we went for, you know, entry-level DSLR camera, and I still feel like it does the job.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. And so we got you also a bit of a longer lens, like I think 200 millimeters.
Yeah, so went up to 200 millimeters.
That was for the bird stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And that was like really good zoom, and you could get all the seals and the birds from a distance, because you don't really want to get too close to wildlife either. So yeah.
And also, like, one of our trainers thought as well is that we will break it, and we actually did break quite a lot of things. Like, remember, we broke one of the lenses, we did all that, and we wanted to be sure that it was available, so we are able to actually kind of order it online and have it in our next hostel, let's say, within a couple of days. And also, it wasn't too expensive, so we wouldn't break the bank if we break something. Because, you know, like, let's say almost within the first week, we took it like 3 times down caves and black rafting and all those crazy stuff. So, you know, those cameras, we knew that basically they were ready to be thrown out as soon as we finished the trip, which kind of almost it was. They were really destroyed. Like, I mean, I've never seen that many scratches on that many cameras, that much sand or dirt into cameras. Just think about it. Like,
taking all the sand, especially at the end of our trip when we've been traveling around Hokianga, 90 Mile Beach, all our cameras just had sand in places where you can't even imagine. In my lens, when I have to twist the lens, it's like from all the sand inside it. It was very much destroyed.
Yeah, I think you just spent an entire day just cleaning cameras.
Yeah.
All right, and so drone-wise, we did use a drone to take a few footage. Same thing, we did upgrade, but we had the same approach. What is cheap and easy to use? So we had the Phantom 3. It was very cheap when we started the trip because there was some other iteration that already came out. We didn't need to have the latest, like, amazing 4K cameras and all those kind of things. We need something which is quite easy to set up and to go. And yeah, that was very simple to operate. I learned within about like a couple of tries. I learned how to use it, and that's one of the things as well. We never really filmed anything. We never used drones. No, I didn't really use much of a DSLR before this trip. We literally learned as we go. And if you look back at our first episodes, it's hard to watch, especially for us, because we went such a long way within such a short amount of time. Just looking back, even at like episode 100, I'm like, wow, what were we thinking?
Yeah, and I bet even like when we, you know, in a few months' time, when we look back at the videos we've just done, we're going to be like, what?
Yeah, it's quite crazy.
What do you guys think? Have the videos improved since the beginning, or is there anything we could improve on? And just let us know in the comments. We need your help, guys.
All right, next one. Is it really your job? So is that a real job? Yes, it is a real job. Yeah, it is a real job. BackpackerGuide.NZ is actually the largest travel guide for New Zealand. By the end of this year, so we're shooting that in October 2017. By the end of this year, we will have had about 5 million unique readers on the website just in 2018 alone. So it's a pretty big website where we give tips to everybody that are planning their trip. We update the website every single day. And yeah, you get us to do those kind of amazing things. It's a lot of work. A lot of people think that just, you know, travel vlogging, travel blogging, travel anything is kind of like fun and holiday all the time. It's not necessarily that. There's a lot of work, but yes, it's a real job, and may I say, it's the best job in the world.
It certainly is. Yeah, I'm not complaining.
You bet. All right, and the last question that you guys ask all the time is, what is next? And yeah, I think we're just gonna cut the video right here, and we'll just get back with what is next. Alright, so we're back. We just needed to grab ourselves a little bit of something to eat. We've been talking to this camera for way too long. Alright, so the next question is, what is next for BackpackerGuide.NZ? For this YouTube channel, what are we going to be doing? So, BackpackerGuide.NZ, as the website, we keep it up to date. We add some more content, we write about other stuff. There's really heaps to do for the website. It's still going to be updated. It's still going to be the best website to plan your trip in New Zealand. So keep on checking it out. If you guys have any questions, you know, just write in the comments below and we write an article about it, or we point you to the right article if needed. And so that's for the website. Now for the YouTube channel, we're gonna go live. We are gonna be going live every week. Laura, tell us about that.
Yeah, so every Sunday morning, that's New Zealand time, it'll be Saturday evening in Europe, and it'll be Saturday afternoon-ish in the US of A. We are going to be going live and answering all your questions on anything to do with traveling in New Zealand. So basically just hop along, and we'll actually add some more information onto this YouTube channel in a couple of days' time. And you can just ask any question. Hello?
Hey, it's a question.
Yeah, someone is onto it. Yeah, and we'll be literally live answering all your questions. And I think that's going to be the best place to come if you have any really specific things about your trip, or if you're doing a working holiday. Anything really. Yeah,
so we're going to be publishing a video a little bit after this one, maybe a couple of days after that, announcing when it's going to be the first one. We actually are going to be doing our research, so we're actually going to be able to tell you what is the actual time and date that we're going to be going live, because it's a bit hard to kind of plan it from like New Zealand time to everybody around the world. But we'll make sure that this is very clear for everyone. And if you can't make it, you'll be able to tweet us, Facebook us, email us, Pinterest us, all of those things.
Or just leave a comment in any of our videos.
Comment below, yeah. And we'll go through those questions as well as fillers while people are getting warmed up on the live chat as well. So that's what we're going to be doing, and that's going to happen for 1 hour every week. just to make sure that, you know, we are helping everybody which is currently planning their trip to New Zealand. We're also going to be doing a lot of how-to's videos. You guys have seen that we played around a little bit with that lately. We have published quite a few of them, like how expensive in New Zealand and all those kind of things. And you guys apparently really like it. Oh, someone has a lot of questions. You apparently really like it. So we're going to be doing much more of those. They're going to come, you know, roughly about once a week, as much as we have time basically to do. We're going to cover a lot of different topics and make sure that we interact with you as well. Sending comments on below all those videos. Make sure that, you know, you ask questions so you help us improve, answer all the questions, point you in the right directions and all of that.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, it's the trend on YouTube days everywhere, so there's going to be a lot of best ofs and top 10 videos.
Yeah, so we'll be going through like some of the best sort of activities in each category, best adrenaline activities, wildlife activities in New Zealand, water sports. So yeah, that's a good one to keep an eye out if you have any specific interests and you want to see what's the best of each of those types of activities.
Because we're lucky enough, we've done most of them, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, and so for the next week though, Laura and I are actually flying to Fiji, so that's just something a little bit personal about us. We need a holiday right now, we need to relax, so we're taking no camera. I mean, we're taking a few cameras, but we're going to be doing no filming. We're probably going to be doing something. Anyway, we are going to be hopping on the plane to Fiji for about a week, so we're actually going to be giving you a couple of extra videos, so watch out. In a couple of days we're going to tell you the 10 life lessons that we learned when doing this New Zealand's biggest gap year. And we're also going to check it an extra video on it, a little cheeky funny one as well. So I hope that you guys are going to enjoy that. Thank you so much for sticking with us. 400,000 of you guys, actually more than 400,000 of you guys have checked in onto YouTube and have watched some of our episodes. We can't thank you enough. That's absolutely awesome. And before I go, you guys are gonna ask about my arm, I'm pretty sure, and that's a question that came up a lot lately. Yes, I did break my arm. Yes, I'm actually really used to that, so that's not really a big of an issue. Yes, about a week literally after we stopped filming, I went to the hospital and got removed, and it's perfectly fine. I did heal much faster than the average people do, or so does the doctor say. Anyway, that's what he said, the guy.
He's a modern marvel.
Yeah, he's like, wow, amazing. But anyway, yeah, he did say that I did heal pretty fast. That was pretty cool. So I'm now back at full capacity. I am...
Full capacity?
Yeah, full capacity. And so, yeah, that's going to be pretty awesome. I'm really looking forward to hopping in a plane to Fiji right now. We need a break. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, thank you again for watching that. And we still have plenty of more to come for you guys on this channel, so stay subscribed.